So we're diving deep into the source material you provided, which is focused really on just one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
That's the 14th chapter,
Mhm.
yeah. And our sources call it the ultimate guide to understanding these three cosmic qualities, or, the gunas.
Right, the gunas. And for a lot of people, sattva, rajas, and tamas are just these philosophical terms.
Exactly. Maybe something you'd only hear in a religious context.
But our mission today is to pull them out of that, to treat these three forces as, well, practical principles.
Practical, psychological, and even cosmic principles. Your sources have this beautiful phrase for it. They call it the DNA of creation.
I love that, the DNA of creation, because the insight here is that if you understand this DNA, that's the shortcut to understanding yourself,
It is. The Gita lays out these two major goals in life. The first one is called Abhyudaya.
which is all about material progress, right? Worldly advancement.
Yes. But then there's the second, higher goal, Nishreya.
Ultimate welfare. Liberation.
And they aren't opposed to each other. They're meant to be in balance. You can, build a giant skyscraper, that's your Abhyudaya.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't understand yourself, the Nishreya part, you're still just trapped inside it.
So to get that balance, we have to start with the fundamental energies driving us.
That's it. The sources talk about three essential powers, or Shakti.
We've got Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge,
Kriya Shakti, which is the power of action.
and Ika Shakti, the power of will or desire.
And if any one of those three is out of alignment, your progress just trusts. It stalls.
And the sources say the most common place we get misaligned is with knowledge, with Jnana.
Right, because there's a huge distinction that we often miss between two different kinds of knowledge,
Okay, I found this part fascinating. The first one is called Upajivika Kajnana,
which is basically knowledge for your livelihood,
your engineering degree, your medical training.
your coding skills, all of it. It's absolutely necessary for survival, for contributing. We spend decades on this stuff.
But, and this is the key point, relying only on that knowledge is, according to the sources, a kind of deep ignorance.
A very profound ignorance,
Ah.
because you're missing the second type, Mukhya Jnana.
The main knowledge.
The main knowledge. That's self-knowledge. Knowledge of creation, knowledge of the creator. It's the why behind all the what you learned for your job.
So you could be a brilliant surgeon, but if you don't know how your own mind works.
You are, by this definition, still in a state of ajnana, ignorance.
Which brings us to the very root of things. To understand why we're bound, we have to see how creation works in the first place.
And the source uses this incredible analogy. It compares all of creation to the birth of a child.
It makes a huge cosmic idea so simple.
It really does. So creation is the child, God is the father, providing the seed, which is called Garbhanam.
And the mother.
The mother is Prakriti, nature. She's called the Mahad Brahma, the great all-encompassing womb.
So all the beings we see, Sarvabhutana, are the result of this union, this interplay between consciousness and matter.
Shiva and Shakti, Purusha and Prakriti. It's not a one-time event. It's happening constantly.
And if you can really reflect on this, truly contemplate it.
That's the path to what the sources call Param Siddhi, the highest perfection.
And what does that look like? Achieving that perfection.
It means you attain Mama Sadharma Magata. You gain the essential nature of God.
You stop identifying with the physical body, the deha.
And instead you identify with Chaitanya Svarupa, the eternal consciousness.
And once you do that, the whole cycle of birth and death, no upajeta, it just doesn't apply anymore.
Consciousness was never born, so how could it die?
Which sets the stage perfectly for chapter 14. Because the immediate question is, if we are pure consciousness, why do we feel so stuck?
So restricted. And the answer is the gunas. They aren't just qualities. They are bandhan,
Bonds, ropes.
ropes that tie the soul, the dehi, to the body.
And the definition of that bondage is so frustratingly familiar. It's knowing the right thing to do.
But being completely unable to do it. You see the path, but your feet feel like they're stuck in concrete.
Oh, I know I should get up and go for a run, but I'm just going to sit here.
That is it, exactly. And the source gives us a great way to picture these three forces. It uses the analogy of a car.
I love this analogy. It's so clear.
So in this car, sattva is the steering.
The clarity, the judgment, the will to go in the right direction or to stop.
Then you have rajas. That's the accelerator, the petrol.
The engine, it's what drives all action, all ambition.
You need it to get anywhere. And then finally, tamas is the brake.
Essential for stopping, for rest.
But if you lean on it too hard,
You just get inertia, total gridlock.
so let's break them down. Sattva is goodness, purity. Its nature is prakash, or light.
And Shanti, Peace.
It's that clear inner voice, that inner wisdom.
Okay, then rajas. The engine, that's passion, activity, kriyashilta.
And chanchal, restlessness. It's what gets you motivated, but it can also just make you frantic, busy without any real purpose.
And tamas is the darkness, delusion, moha, ignorance, ajnana.
And jadava. Just pure laziness, inertia. It's the urge to just sink into the couch and avoid everything.
So let's talk about the ropes themselves, because the trickiest one has to be sattva. I mean, it sounds so good. How can goodness actually bind you?
It's the most subtle trap. A golden rope. It's beautiful, it's comfortable, but it's still a rope.
Okay.
It binds you in two main ways. First, through attachment to happiness. Sukha sanjana.
What does that mean exactly?
It means when life is going well, when things are peaceful and comfortable, we stop pushing. We get attached to that state of happiness.
The comfort zone.
The ultimate comfort zone.
Yeah.
We don't want to risk it for greater growth because that might involve discomfort.
So you get stuck in good enough and you stagnate.
Precisely. The second way it binds you is through attachment to knowledge. Jnana sanjana.
Ah, this is where the ego comes in.
The subtle ego, hamkara. The source warns that as you gain insight, you can start to feel superior. You think, I get it. I know more than these people around me.
And that feeling of superiority just poisons the well. The knowledge becomes a barrier, not a bridge.
Exactly. Now for rajas, the active trap. This one binds you through action, karma sanjana.
But the action is driven by something specific, Trishna. Thirst.
And it's not just a casual thirst. It's that gnawing, deep dissatisfaction that always needs more.
Always needing more stimulation.
Right. A relentless need for ranjanam entertainment, gratification, validation. It's the engine of hustle culture.
That constant dopamine chase. Check your phone, buy the next thing, get the next promotion.
And 30 seconds later, the emptiness is back. The thirst returns.
It's a vicious cycle.
And the source has that story of the beggar and the king to illustrate this. The king tells the beggar he can have all the land he can run around before sunset.
Okay.
So the beggar, driven by this greed, this loba, just starts running like a madman. He keeps pushing the boundary further and further out.
His desire just keeps expanding.
Yes. And his rajas pushes him so far, so fast, that just as the sun sets, he collapses. He dies of exhaustion before he can get back.
Oh, wow.
And the irony is, after all that, he only needed 3 cubits of land for his own grave. That's the trap of rajas. It drives you to your own destruction for a prize you can't even enjoy.
And finally, we hit the break. Tamas, the destructive trap.
This one binds through just heedlessness, pramada, through excessive sleep, nidra, and sheer delusion, moha.
It's not an active bond like the others. It works by just obscuring reality.
Totally. It creates 2 distortions. The first is avarana. That's like pulling a thick blanket over the knowledge you already have inside you.
You know you should be doing something productive.
But you choose to binge watch a show instead. That's avarana. The second is vikshepa,
Which is?
mistaking wrong knowledge for right knowledge.
So telling yourself that sitting on the couch for 8 hours is self-care when it's actually just avoidance.
That's a perfect example. It's justifying laziness with a soothing but false story.
So these 3 forces are constantly at war inside us. Rajashana, always trying to suppress each other.
All the time. And different ones dominate at different times. The source says sattva is often strongest in the morning, which is why it's a good time for clear thought.
And Tamas takes over at night, telling you to sleep.
Exactly. The problem isn't that they exist. It's when we let the wrong one dominate the wrong activity.
Right. You can't do your best creative work when Tamas has a stranglehold on you.
You'll just fail. You have to be aware of which quality is in the driver's seat.
So this brings us to the really big practical question. How does knowing this help us with our daily duties, with our dharma?
Because we face duty conflicts all the time.
Right. Duty to my family versus duty to my country, or duty to my sick kid versus a critical deadline at work.
These conflicts can be paralyzing. How do you choose?
Especially if you're in a sattvic state where you think all duties are equally valid.
The Gita's resolution is sarva dharman parjaya. You surrender the results of your actions to the highest good, to the divine will.
And that's not a passive thing. It's not giving up.
Not at all. It's an active surrender that grants you viveka shakti, the power of discrimination. It's what lets you see clearly which duty is the right one for that specific moment.
So instead of getting lost in the calculation, you just step back and ask, what is the highest, least selfish path here? And that gives you the answer.
It gives you the clarity. Otherwise, you're just acting from whichever guna is strongest at the moment.
And speaking of being dominated by a guna, We have to talk about that warning the source gives about superstition.
Yes. This is such a critical insight into how tamas can poison devotion.
It's about linking bad things that happen.
Like a death in the family or something as small as a lamp going out during worship, the Dia Buchte.
And connecting that to some ritual mistake you made.
It's letting fear baya replace love, prima, in your devotion. And that fear is pure tamas. It completely covers up the knowledge that the divine understands cosmic laws.
God isn't some petty accountant looking for you to mess up.
Exactly. That fear-based approach is incredibly binding. It keeps you trapped by irrational anxiety.
It's pure inertia, pure tamas.
It keeps you from realizing that the highest devotion is just selfless action and love, not obsessive rule following.
This has been such a journey into the self. I mean, the core idea is that you can't break a bond. You can't become Gunatita until you really understand the ropes that are tying you down.
It's a lifelong process of refining these energies, cultivating sattva, managing the selfish parts of rajas, and minimizing the inertia of tamas.
Which brings us back to light and knowledge. There's that wonderful line in the sources about the name Bharat, or India.
That it means one who finds delight, Raman, in the light, Ba, of knowledge, Jnana.
It's beautiful. So for you, the learner, the question is, how does embracing this light of knowledge change how you see your own duties and priorities? If you had a conflict right now, knowing how these ropes work, which one of your duties would you choose to surrender to the highest good? That is the path.